Ain't y'all glad to see Nene back? Even though it wasn't a whole lot of mess with Nene, it's something about her presence being there that just makes me feel better. I don't know. Whatever. I just like Nene. I am your girl, Talisa Rae, and we are reviewing The Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 10, Episode number 3. My bad for not knowing what the episode name is, okay? So it's your first time here. It's all right. You can click subscribe. We can be family. You'll be a ray of sunshine. That'll be what's up. We'll be family. We'll be having conversations down below in the comment section. We'll be good. We'll be on a first name basis, okay? Like, we family for real. So let's get into it, bitch. Or bitch, get into it. In my Tammy Roman's voice, I love her. Of course, different reality show, but nevertheless, that bitch, I love her. Okay, she my other BFF. Porsha. The big deal with Porsha was the blowout between her and Lauren over the salon. We saw them go to a thermal wrapping salon or spa where it is said to you drop all this water weight, etc. But I'm disappointed that they didn't give me, oh, your waist was 24 inches before, your thighs was 26 inches on each side. But you didn't tell me that once you was finished that it was, instead of 26, it was 25 and a half, or it was 25. I mean, if you're going to promote, honey, promote. So I'm going to be like, let me find a thermal bandage wrapping place here to go to. Like, because I got some Hadassah wave and shit that I want to get rid of. Or nah. Anyway. So, she's in the no new friend zone and family first and blase. But you see, honey, she treats her family just like she treats her friends, honey. She is self-centered. That's how I see it. Be mad, don't be mad. She's beautiful. And then blew up her head because she wasn't always like this. Y'all remember when she was with Cordell? She was sweet as pie. Now, honey, her head is big and she is self-centered, honey. Self-centered. I mean, things should be about self, but consider your family too. Let's talk about it. So they go to a restaurant or a bistro and they meet Eric, the business consultant, and his name escapes me, but the real estate consultant. And Porsha talks about how her hair business is doing very lucrative and is doing well, and the natural progression of it is for her to own a salon. So my first thought on that is, if you've never owned a salon, that may not be for you. Stay in the lane that you're in. Definitely get a consultant, because she didn't know shit. When he asked what the business model was, she didn't know. When he asked her, well, how much was your budget for the retail space? And she said $10,000 a month. He said, that's a little far-fetched. And then they talked about whether it would be independent or under her, where there's a commission or etc. They didn't know. They hadn't done any research. And then when she was like, oh, we want it up and running in 3 months, he was like, yeah, that's not realistic. Think more 9 months so that you have time to plan it out. But I was just like, okay. So you want a salon. What are you going to do with the salon? Not only do you want a salon, you want to be at the salon. You want to make your presence known. You want to be like Kandi at OLG. Girl, this is an entirely different thing. And that is the thing that rubbed Lauren the wrong way. She was like, why would you be there? That's what I'm here for. She was like, well, I'm the face. I want to be around. And she was like, for what though? I'm confused as to what you would be doing there. Why would you come there? What would be the point? Because the entire time Porsha was me, when her first person, I, honey. I didn't know what she was preparing for, but everything was about her versus us, because the business, the salon, is supposed to be Porsha and Lauren's together, regardless of what the percentage split is, which we found out was 85% Porsha and 15% Lauren. I keep calling that girl Laura or Laurel, but Lauren. No matter what the split is, it's still a partnership together. Now, Porsha made a good point when she was like, well, I'm the face of the business. It's my credit on the line. It's my money. I'm the one putting everything up, so I have more to lose. So yes, I'm going to get the bigger chunk. That makes perfectly good sense. However, Lauren made excellent sense. She constantly discounts her and the services that she gives her. Like, she's not appreciative of the things that Lauren does for her. she kind of discounts her. And it was said when she was like, I pay you for that service, don't I? And she was like, you pay me what you would pay a little sister, not what you would pay somebody else. Now that was the nail that hit the hammer that hit the nail for me, the hammer on the nail for me, because here's where the blowout comes in. It comes about financially. Though we only saw a little portion of it, my mind says to me, one, Lauren doesn't have a lot of capital. That's why she is living with her sister. She is being shortchanged by her sister. She feels underappreciated. If it was anybody else, she would have been getting paid more money. So I think part of the blowout was like, fuck you. You don't even value me. I don't get paid what I'm worth. I do everything for you. Really, you don't do shit. I know everything, and you ain't gonna find nobody like me. You ain't gonna find nobody that you can trust that's gonna handle your money, and you don't know shit. Not nobody like me. But Lauren should not have stormed out of there talking about, I'm going to take me and my baby and we're going to go live on the street. Girl, bye. That's when you know that you're young. Honey, just be like, bitch, fuck you and go home. And then close the door and not talk to the hoe until you see her running in the kitchen or whatever. Then y'all hash it out. But you don't go ahead and throw yourself out under the bus. That's the shit you do when you're young. Like, I just know, because you're impulsive, you know, and you're angry. And you're like, I can stand on my own 2 feet. You can't. That's why you with your sister. But I can see both their points. I really still think that Porsha is very much so self-centered and really needs to start considering other people than herself. And though she says, I'm appreciative, it doesn't feel like she's appreciative. See, there's a difference. There's a difference between you feeling like you appreciate it and you actually being appreciated. You know, if you feel like I'm getting taken advantage of all the time, then that's what it is. Like, for real, you can't discount how I feel about shit. That's the one thing I know, and that's the one thing I'd be like, I'm sorry that I made you feel that way, because that wasn't my intent. But people be like, you can't always be sorry. You can't always apologize. Yes, I can. I can apologize if I made you feel a certain way. Fuck, I'm sorry. Anyway, so Sheree. The big deal with Sheree is her mother's 70th birthday party that she is planning in a 70 theme. Yeah, that made sense. Not only that, but the party planner. Sheree always fucking got a problem with a party planner, honey. She always got issues with a party planner. And I don't know if is it the way she talks to people, because it sounds like she talks to people kind of like they're beneath you. And so you don't really want to be bothered with that. Like, nobody wants to deal with that. However, Miss Tiffany, the party planner, dear Tiffany, the moment you took on the job as a party planner, you were supposed to make sure that you were there ahead of schedule to have things running smoothly in accordance to what it was. She should not have had to do a damn thing. You should have been able to been there and tell the people the direction and what they do, because evidently you're not an event planner that puts the stuff up. You hire out and they come in and they put the stuff up, which is fine, you know, but you need to make sure you're there to orchestrate, to supervise. Like, she had every right to be upset. Like, she really did. I'm not upset with Sheree about that. But her tone is probably where she goes wrong. Because when Tiffany sent that text message and saying, you know, I'm going to have to bow out 90 minutes before the party started. Bitch, I would have been pissed too. 90 minutes before the party started, because I feel like there's some tension and I don't operate in business like that. Like, I hear you. Like, nobody wants to be a part of no bullshit. Nobody wants to be a part of it. Nobody wants to have that kind of tug of war, discord, where you make me feel uncomfortable and you talking shit and think I'm not going to react. Like, no. But she was wrong. Which kind of makes me say this. Like, listen. Is that staged? Like, we never saw Tiffany, the party planner. We heard her over the phone, but that was when things were going well. Was the second half staged? Was Tiffany really her name? Y'all, I'm low-key a conspiracy theorist. Like, because I really can't see nobody who has a business just not showing up and not doing what the fuck they supposed to do, especially when they had the linens and they, you know, said they were going to do certain things. And shit happens. It does, like with the dance floor. But I can't see that. I can't see that happening. I don't know, y'all. Okay, Cynthia, honey. Cynthia's getting her little self out there. Go and get your groove back, Cynthia. And we see that she has a new suitor that she is dating. He's Will, and he is 41. Now, he's a handsome brother. He really is. I like him on the darker side. You know, I need you to be at least caramel complected. So he's 41, and he's never been married. And they go out on this little date to this bar or this little restaurant. And he's all like, what do you have a taste for? So I guess he's talking about what's on the menu, right? Because I'm all like, what do you have a taste for? I would think that that's something that you asked before the date, but whatever. I think he was just talking about what was on the menu, trying to break the ice a little bit. And he was like, I'm not on the menu. I'm all like, already? You full of yourself already? But evidently, she liked you. She was really vibing with you because she was like, the conversation is easy going, which is so fucking important. Nevertheless, she was enjoying his company. She liked him. She felt like there would be some good chemistry between the two of them. It was easy going. He felt the same way, okay? So, she said she wanted to become a dater, right? Okay, cool. Date away. But the way you talking, you only been on one date and you like him. And I guess you've been talking on the phone to him. But I think that's too fast, especially if you're a dater. I mean, there were some good points. Like, for one, he didn't bring his phone in, which is good because, you know, when you're on a date and they constantly looking at their phone, or the phone is going off, or it's turned upside down, you automatically think, why is the phone turned upside down? Who's calling? And so the way my mind is set up, I don't know, maybe I'm a skeptic. But I probably would be like, okay, your phone's outside in the car. You know, especially after he said he had a daughter, Jordan. What if there's an emergency? I guess the emergency could wait. Like, Nene girl, and the Nene girl is back. So when we first see them, we see Greg and Nene and Brent, and they're just having a regular old conversation. You know, Nene's cooing over her son and his accomplishment of graduating high school. Kudos to Brent. Like, that's something to be excited about. Because, you know, people was worried about Brent and whether he was going to make it. But, baby, Brent was like, I don't know what y'all worried about. I just smoked a little weed. It was just a little weed. I still got my education, okay? But the big thing with Nene was Greg had not been feeling well. I mean, it's so funny. When I was watching her and what was happening with her, I could relate to her so much because when my Greg wasn't feeling well and you want to go to the doctor or you want to go to the hospital? He wanted to go to the hospital and they kept him that first time. It kind of changes everything. I'm going back. I'm got to get his stuff together. See, now my Greg didn't let me go home. He was like, you staying, right? I was like, what about Kingston? You staying, right? I had to figure out what to do with Kingston. But I understood where she was coming from entirely, except, you know, it was two different things, but both very serious. You know, that he was he was feeling something in his heart. His heart was too low. They had to do some kind of minor surgery just to see if there was any blockage in his chest. And Cynthia came over to visit and then he told her all this information. And, you know, your good girlfriend is always like, well, do you want me to stay? Because she was saying, I feel kind of funny without Greg being here. You know, I couldn't sleep well. But your good friend will tell you, one of my sisters by love, thick chick, she was like, when Greg first passed, she was like, Sissy, I'll come stay over. I'll come spend the night if you need me to. I'll come climb in the bed with you. And, you know, because you miss it. It's a different feeling with them not being in the bed. Well, we later in the episode see Nene on her way to the hospital. And Greg's like, they moved the surgery up and she's not there. It was supposed to be at 12, but they moved it to 11:20. I'm all like, Nene, why are you not already there? Like, if it's at 12, you should have had your ass there at 10:45, and then you would have been there when it moved up to 11:20. Like, Nene, come on. Come on, Nene. But maybe she was on her way because it was 12 and she was going to get there for 11 and it was 11:20. So I'm going to give her some credit. But I'm just saying, you supposed to be there. And maybe she was trying to be there a little early, but wasn't. But I felt so sad for her because you could hear, even though they won't ever say, I'm scared, you could hear it in their voice. You can hear it when they say, I want you here, I need you here. It's because if something happens to me, I want to make sure that my wife was there. She was so right. I just really relived that whole scenario with her. My heart goes out to Nene in this episode because I could relate to her. I knew what her pain was, and to see her what if he doesn't? What if something's really wrong? What if all the things start going through your mind? Oh, so when Cynthia came over to Nene's house, this is when Nene was like, you got to ask all the questions about booty calls and who they seeing and all this stuff, you know. And I've heard a lot of women say, no, you shouldn't have to ask those questions, but why not? I don't know. That's probably something we need to talk on the Sunday chit chat. It wasn't really much going on with Kandi. We saw them at the Candy Coated Factory, and they were talking about hiring a general manager for OLG, talking about Carmen and her insurance business. They were being a little shady, talking about Porsha and her, whatever her condition is. It requires her feet to be elevated. Don Juan is a mess. They talked about Shamia's bridal shower. You know, it wasn't nothing really going on there with Kandi. So let's keep it pushing. Then we saw Kenya. Now, when we saw Kenya, I was like, every time I see Kenya, I'd be like, Kenya, why do you allow them to let you look crazy? They had you calling Mark. And is that what you do all the time? Like, do y'all call y'all men back to back to back? Because she was like, we talk on the phone often and we see each other every weekend. And all we saw was her calling the voicemail over and over again, leaving a million messages. Oh, that's short, it cut off. Oh, that's short, it cut off. Girl, you're going to drive him absolutely nuts. You are going to drive him crazy because you are batshit crazy. Relax. I know we want to send messages and shit, but one message would have been good. And when he called back, gave him all that, I got some lingerie left. All of that would have been great. And it would have been great for him to hear it. And I know sometimes they do want to hear it on a voicemail. They want to hear, you know, the sultriness of it, the sensuousness of it. Send him a fucking text message. You know, shit. Send him a text message of your panties. But bitch, quit calling him, okay? Quit calling and leaving all those fucking messages. I thought she had lost her goddamn mind. So we saw Nene and Cynthia go over to Kenya's before the 70s party. And all the girls look cute in their little outfits. But I was glad that Kenya, even though she crazy, because I tell y'all, I think she be playing, that Kenya had the conversation with Cynthia. Like, you need to assume that he's talking to other people. You need to assume then we're not making asses of ourselves, okay? You need to go ahead and pretty much know that he is talking to someone else. If he don't have a ring on his finger, on his right hand, and saying he's waiting on that he, you know, is married to God until he gets married, honey, you do need to just go ahead and believe that he's sleeping with someone else, because most men, I'm not going to say all, but most men can't have droughts like that. There's someone that they're talking to. That's another good topic for a Sunday. There's always somebody. It might not be somebody that they want to be with, but it's somebody to help scratch the itch. But she probably thinks she's somebody. Y'all, and I mean, that conversation was a real conversation. She was like, you know, and she asked her, well, should I ask him about it? Where Nene said, you should ask. Kenya said, don't ask. Don't ask. Just assume that it's happening. My advice is just to assume that you already know that it's going on. What do you think? Should she be asking, or should she just assume that it's happening already? When he stops making you a priority, then it becomes a problem. So what do you think? I mean, honestly, I'm gonna ask, and I'm already gonna be like, I know you're seeing other people, but are you seeing other people is different than are you sleeping with other people? But I'm already going to make the assumption that, like me, you're dating. You're having a good time. I'm not fucking, but you're dating. You're having a good time. Like, I would imagine that that's what you would be doing, because that's what I'm doing. Right? So you should ask, well, are you dating? Are you seeing other people? And he would be like, yeah, that's an easy one. But I don't know. Anyway, y'all tell me what you think. Should she not ask, or should she ask? Because I do a combination of the both. Y'all tell me. Let's talk about, so it was cute that Cynthia asked her about how's Mark, and she was like, Mark is good, and we fucking 3 times a day. Well, y'all should be. You only seen him on the weekend, which is Friday and Saturday. He leave on Sunday because he got business in New York. Y'all should be fucking up a storm. As soon as he get off the plane, y'all should be like pulling over, fucking on the side of the road. You should need ice packs. It should be throbbing. It should be hurting. This is your new husband. Honey, you guys are honeymooners, and if you got married really quick, and you want to make sure that you keep whatever it was that you got him with, you need to make sure you keep doing that. When Nene gets there, Nene's messy. Nene goes straight to the man's closet like, okay, what's in here? And she's all like looking. She's like, okay, I see you gonna make sure your man is secure. together. Everything in there got tags on it. That was a little bit of shade. Like, he ain't been here with his own clothes that you gotta, I guess he just getting on the plane. I mean, if you in two places, that makes sense. But y'all, I digress. Kenya's married. We've seen the wedding photos. We've seen Mark Daly. We know that she's married, and we really want her to be successful in her marriage. We really, really do. And so everything we say is really, Kenya, don't fucking be crazy. Don't be obsessed. Don't overdo it, because you're gonna fuck some shit up. So then we get to the 70s party, which is the last thing, and everything looks great. Everybody looks great. The mom looks great. The mom looks great. The friends look great. The event looks great in Sheree's home, in Chateau Sheree. It also looks great. Everything came together really nicely, honey. And y'all saw that Soul Train line, and the highlight of the Soul Train line was, of course, who? Kenya doing them splits. Don't play with Kenya. Don't play with Kenya. You hear me? Don't play with Kenya. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm under 30 minutes where I'm normally 30 minutes. But it looks like next week we'll see Kim Zodiac Bierman, and shit is going to get real. It's going to get spicy. That's what we be looking for. But I hope it don't feel as staged as a lot of the stuff been feeling this season. Anyway, what did you think about the episode? I'm so glad that you're hanging out with me and sticking through this. Hugs and kisses and lots of love. I'll see you on the next video.